Well, hello and welcome back to Flash Knockdown Series 6, episode number 3 from our brand new studio. Just before we tell you what's coming up on today's show, it goes without saying that the thoughts of everyone at Matchroom Boxing are with the family and many friends of the late, great Ricky Hatton, who so sadly passed away over the weekend, and the amount of outpouring of love you've seen across social media is testament to the man and the character that Ricky Hatton was. Remembered for his achievements in the ring, achieving his dreams of becoming a world champion, creating a fortress at the Manchester Arena, fighting at his home of his beloved Manchester City, and of course the epic nights that he had over in America, going over there with an army of fans to take on the very best in Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. But outside of the ring, the character of Ricky Hatton, despite the star and the superstar that he was, a working class hero who certainly always had his feet on the ground, and that is why he was adored and loved and respected by so many, not just across the nation, not just, of course, in his beloved city of Manchester, a city in which he paved the way for so many young fighters to chase their dreams, but in world boxing all over. We'll be speaking to some of the guests coming on here this afternoon and to talk about some of their favourite memories of the Hitman, of which, as the song read, the lyrics, there will only ever be one Ricky Hatton, a true legend. Well, here is what we have coming up for you all on today's stacked show. The British and Commonwealth middleweight titles are on the line, of course, on October 17th. But first, Kieron, Conway and George Liddard join us in the studio for a fiery chat on the sofa. You do not want to miss this. We hear from Jaron Boots Ennis out in Philadelphia camp before his headliner on October the 11th stateside. And Boots' opponent that night, Wisma Lima, is in the studio here in London, knowing victory will change his life forever. Eddie Hearn joins us on the blower for the weekly catch-up, and there's all the usual chat, quizzes, nonsense and much more. You know what to do, don't go anywhere. Okay, we're very pleased to be joined by promoter Eddie Hearn. Eddie, there is of course only one place for us to start here this afternoon, and that is on the tragic passing of Ricky Hatton. I just wanted to give you an opportunity just to give some thoughts and some words on that terrible news.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday, I think it just was just such a huge blow to the whole boxing world and community. When someone messaged me before I saw it officially reported, and you know, your first thought is just no, short, like no way. And you know, when it was confirmed, it was just complete. I think people still now, you know, 24 hours on, are in complete shock, because everybody knew Ricky, and he was like the last of the dying breed of superstar, boxing superstar, sporting superstar that wasn't fueled by social media. You know, the likes weren't important. There was no content set up, you know, for a kind deed to make him look good. His love came from real people and from being a man of, you know, man about town, a man of his city. And that popularity wasn't built through social media, which is quite incredible when you think about it, because, you know, nowadays nearly everybody's popularity and profile is built through social media. His was built by real love, and real love of his city and his country. And that was because he was such a genuine, honest, working class hero. You know, he had time for everybody. And I think we live in such a fickle world, particularly in boxing now. You know, everyone talks about people. I've never heard one person say a bad word about Ricky Hatton. Oh, Ricky did this. Oh, I don't like Ricky. Oh, he does. Yeah, he's fallen out with Ricky. It just didn't exist. He was unbelievable to be around. He was absolutely hilarious. And it's just such a sad, you know, I think about Campbell, I think about Matthew, obviously his whole family. And, he was so selfless, Ricky. And probably a guy that probably needed to work on himself, but was more concerned about working on others and for others and giving his time to people. And, we've lost a true great. I was just, before I came on here, I was just looking at Darren Barker's podcast just a couple of weeks ago, I think it was. He was just talking about how he wanted to be remembered. And it's so sad, and he will be remembered as a true great and a great bloke. And as he said in that, one of the lads. I mean, really was, and it's a tragic loss to the sport.
Yep, great words, Eddie, and obviously the words and the thoughts rather of everyone at Matchroom and with Ricky's family at this awful time. When you look at this past weekend, obviously the weekend's been marred by the news we found out in some ways, but when you look at Lewis Crocker becoming world champion, from ringside, Eddie, what was your gut feeling?
Kind of like, I have no idea how they're going to score this. I mean, I'll be honest, at the turn, I'm sitting there, I've got Tony Bellew there, I've got Ben Whittaker there, like, we're feeling like Paddy's a mile behind. At this stage, he may need a stoppage to win the fight. No, at that stage, you're also not expecting him to win the lion's share of every round for the last 6 rounds. But he was so far behind on my card after 5 rounds, maybe even 6 rounds, that he needed to do something. He needed to switch it up. But he did win most of the last 6. I actually gave Crocker the 12. Some people didn't like that. I thought it was a very close round. There was a bit of momentum with him, a lot of noise. It's how many rounds you gave Crocker outside of the knockdowns. For me, it's 2 or 3. If it's 3, Crocker edges it. If it's 2, I think Donovan nicks it. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, I was quite surprised that quite a few people, including our judging panel of some of our fighters, had Donovan up by quite a few points. And I don't feel like that's possible, if I'm honest. But I feel like probably slightly more people felt that Donovan won the fight over Crocker. Not that that's relevant, but it's hard to win a fight when you've got 2 10-8 rounds and 2 knockdowns. But it was certainly a fight. I think both men, honestly, when it was being announced, I don't think anyone really knew which way it was going to go. And what was it separated by? A point? By 2 scorecards, I think, or 114, 113. It's that kind of fight.
Where do you see both guys going now? I mean, Lewis Crocker called for a fight with Conor Benn, who's got a massive fight of his own coming up. But is that realistic if Conor does go back down to 147?
For sure. I mean, that's probably the most likely fight for Conor Benn after Chris Eubank. I mean, Conor Benn wants to fight for the welterweight world title. He wants to fight Marios Barros, for the WBC title. But we have a fighter in Lewis Crocker that is with us. It's a fight that can be made very easily, and it's a fight that both guys want. So I think there's a great chance that we see that fight. Obviously, when Conor Benn beats Chris Eubank next time, there's going to be calls for the trilogy, for sure. But either way, Conor's got his plans to move down to 147, and that'd be a tremendous fight. I mean, totally different style fight to what we saw the other night. It's quite cagey. Lewis Crocker punches extremely hard, and Paddy Donovan's got a great chin, by the way, as well. But Conor will be, as he is, in the pocket, in the firing line, and that will be a red-hot fight. So, yeah, obviously focused for Conor on November 15th, but very good chance Lewis Crocker against Conor Benn could be next. And, for Paddy, everybody knows how good Paddy Donovan is. I know he's pushing, he'd love to do the trilogy again, and I think in time there's definitely a possibility for that as well. But I think if you're Lewis Crocker right now, you're saying, right, stick me in a big one. And I think that's more than likely is what will happen next.
Just before we go to some questions from the fans, Eddie, you and Dana White had a little bit back and forth, I saw. What are your thoughts on him and where he sits right now in boxing?
It's a friendly back and forth at the moment. I mean, we both started with, I respect him and I like him a lot, which is always nice. And that is true. This rivalry is not going to be, built out of disdain for each other and this fierce rivalry of hate. No, I like Dana White, and I think he's amazing at what he's done. I just think I'm a much better boxing promoter than him. That's all. Just like he's a much better MMA promoter than me. It's not my bag. It's not what I know. And all I said was, but there's this thing about always, is there a fear in the industry or amongst you that Dana White could be coming into boxing? It's like, no, it's actually giving me a little twinge, and it's like, that's what I want. I want to be challenged. I want the fight. I want the competition to prove that we're the best. And by the way, having him in the sport is great for the sport. And he's here for a reason, because boxing's red hot.
Well, we are going to hand over now to producer Scott, who has some questions, Eddie, from the fans, which I think you'll enjoy answering. Much to discuss.
Thank you, Jamie. Good afternoon, Eddie. 2 questions in particular recurring from the fans this week. Billy Carter in particular says, Bud Crawford becoming a 3-weight undisputed great is GOAT material.
Yeah, he's definitely GOAT material. I was disappointed with myself because I picked Crawford the whole way, and just the last 48 hours I changed my mind. And what happened in the fight is actually exactly what I thought would happen in the fight, but I just talked myself into, no, Canelo will be too experienced, he'll be too big, and blah, blah, blah. And it was a great performance. Bud boxed the perfect game plan. And look, I think Canelo made a good point in the post-fight press that his body just can't do it anymore, and he's just not as young, as fresh as he used to be. Not that would have assured him of victory, but I think a prime Canelo Alvarez would have potentially been more competitive in that fight. But Bud Crawford goes down as definitely, not the greatest of all time, but definitely one of the greatest fighters of all time across all generations.
What do you see as being the next logical options for both, Eddie?
Well, for Terence Crawford, Boots is going to be his mandatory at 54, so we pray that he stays there. But, he's already talked about fighting at 60. What's Terence now? 38? Something like that. But again, he showed plenty of engine on Saturday night. But, does he defend his world championships? Hamza Shiraz was calling him out. We know that Turkey will want to give Hamza a big fight, but that's such a tough fight for Hamza Shiraz. He's a tough fight for anyone, Terence Crawford. When you look at middleweight, it's really not the most attractive divisions. I can't really tell you a lot of big fights for Crawford at middleweight. I honestly think, and obviously Terence has earned the right now to pick and choose his fights. I just feel that Jaron Ennis against Terence Crawford is the fight. And that can be at 54, it can be at 60. Obviously we've got Lima to take care of first. But that for me is one of the great crossover fights, because Boots is the changing of the guard guy, and Crawford's the guy that's been there and done it all and just proved, that he's still very much in his prime.
Do you think we'll see Canelo again?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he had the look in his eye as if to say, it's just not me. I don't have it anymore, but I'm just not the fighter that I was. And I thought he was very honest in his post-fight press conference as well. Where he talked about his body just didn't feel the same anymore. It doesn't have the speed, doesn't have the reactions, and he's a great fighter. But I don't know what would attract him. I don't think he'd want to finish his career on a loss, if I'm honest. But not sure what will be next for him.
And the second shout this week is from Loppy14, who says Inoue beating MJ. Inoue is unbeatable.
Yeah, listen, I've been reminded of several of my interviews about betting the house on it, and listen, it's my job to talk a fight up, and I feel like after Inoue swerved MJ for 2 or 3 official orderings from the WBA, I think I actually might have pushed him into taking it, but he was too good. Hands up. I don't think MJ rolled the dice enough, if I'm honest, out there. And, later on in the fight, he was having good success, but he had a terrible start. Probably lost the first 5 or 6 rounds. How do you come back against that against Inoue? So, no, listen, I definitely got that one wrong. And Inoue, we know he's a quality fighter, but I have to give him props. Great performance, and, definitely sits in that top 5 pound for pound.
Is that it for fan questions?
That's it.
Eddie, I do have to ask you, we've got two fighters sitting in the green room right now who can hear you, Kieron Conway and George Liddard.
Glad you told me that.
Do you have some motivation for them ahead of what, for both of their careers, is a very important night next month for your call?
They don't really need motivation because this fight is absolutely pivotal to their career, and not just career, their life, if I'm honest. Because boxing's a game of snakes and ladders. If you get beat in that fight, you come down the board. And if you win, you go up another ladder. And this range really is determined by legacy and by money. And you win that fight on October the 17th, and your money's going up, the arena's getting bigger, you know, there's a better car on the drive, there's another house that could be bought, and that's the name of the game. And more importantly, you keep that, for Kieron, you keep that Lonsdale belt around your waist, and for George, you win that British title, which would be massive. And, you know, I know, I'd say it even if they weren't listening, it's a true 50-50 fight of the guy now that is established as a big, strong, domestic British champion to the guy that is really coming through at the speed of knots, and probably is where we didn't quite expect him to be so quickly, but he's there because of his performances, because of how hard he's worked, and he's there on 100% merit. So is this guy that's coming up racing down the blind side, is he good enough to go past the guy that's already done it, that's already established himself? And these fights right now, those kind of fights are really starting to become more important and more popular than ever. Those brilliant British Commonwealth title fights, we saw it at Rafferty against Chamberlain as well. Your call will be absolutely jumping. And I'm excited for both because they're main event, you know, on a big platform, and it's all there for you boys. So may the best man win. You know, I hate having two fighters in the fight. I have to sit there and just kind of say, good luck. As I said to Crocker and Donovan, make it count. Go and change your life.
And just finally, obviously, The Greatest Showman drops this week on Netflix. Are you ready for life? You know, you're not going to be able to go to the shop in your pyjamas and buy a pint of milk anymore.
Oh, don't. Yeah, I know, don't. I mean, it's, you know, I'm going to be watching a bit of it through the fingers because there's a lot of cringe moments in there. And, you know, I'll be honest, there's a lot of things in there that I said to the guys, I think you should take it out. And they're like, no, this is you. This is the show. This is exactly what people want to see. So the only thing I can tell you is, whatever you think of it, it's real. So I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, Eddie, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for coming on. We'll catch you at the press conference later in the week. Have a little look at this, the trailer. If you haven't seen it, The Greatest Showman, dropping soon on Netflix.
I'm Barry Hearn, president of Matchroom Sport.
Talk to me. I'm Eddie Hearn, I'm the chairman of Matchroom Sport.
My son and heir, I call him my project. He's good, but he's not yet great. I'm fucking watching you.
We are the biggest sports promotional company in the world.
Matchroom started as a £100 company, and now worth north of £1 billion.
Look at what the old man has done. I never wanted to work for my dad, but you have to play the hand you're dealt.
Eddie, he has ego. It's a weakness, and I won't give up control until I'm sure he's ready.
Boxing is an important element of the revenue stream, but only an element. We've got the greatest snooker player to ever play the game.
The biggest profit earner is darts.
There's no business that has the drama.
If I found out you knew about it, you're done.
The ego. Jesus Christ. What is that? The aggravation.
Oh, shit! You need fair judges next time.
The most important thing for my dad is winning. The world's come crashing down on us. I mean, what's going to make you feel better?
Please, could I get a packet of pickled onion Monster Munch?
We need to talk about Conor Benn. We need to get him back in a ring.
Yeah! How you getting on with Jake Paul?
He's taken a number of shots at me.
Come talk.
And I ain't going to back down.
Show me what you've got. I'm going to make our company
Bigger and better.
than ever.
Let's go!
Global domination.
Nothing less.
I still don't understand why the shirt's off.
We're very happy to say joining us in the studio here this afternoon is Uisma Lima. Massive opportunity awaits him October 11th from what is a massive night for Matchroom, firstly in Sheffield, then of course over across the pond in Philadelphia as Jaron Boots Ennis makes his move up to the 154-pound weight division. But this man stands in his way. Uisma, fantastic to meet you and have you here this afternoon. Sorry, that's your manager, Merv. I just said to Merv, off camera, Merv, make sure you're quiet. This is a live interview and his phone's gone off in the first few seconds, which is brilliant. This opportunity against Jaron Boots Ennis, just tell us what it means to you and why.
Yeah, it's a big fight. Another big fight I have in the future. All my fights, I underdog. I know I'm the underdog. I finish everyone I won. I know I have big mission in Philly, and I training years to have these big missions with big athletes. All I want is the big dogs, and Jaron Boots is a guy on my way.
Do you like being the underdog?
Yeah, I'm used to be. I'm like all I know is be underdog. When I fight in my house, it will be not nice because it's pressure. When I go to the house, it's normal for me because since I do this, for me now is easily.
Just want to talk a little bit about your story as well and your way into the sport of boxing. Born in Angola, moved to Portugal when you were
8 years
young.
old.
Just talk to us about that and how life was for you.
Yeah. In Angola, I stay with my mother and my brothers. My mother want a better quality of life. Is go to Portugal with me. I have 8 years old. My oldest brothers too, and I play football. I play basketball. I play very sports. I'm a people who likes the sports, and my brothers start do MMA, kickbox, and do boxing too. I finish play basketball, and my brother invite me to do a start of boxing. Yeah, why not? I don't do nothing. I go and the first in training I love, and I do amateur fight in Portugal. But in Portugal, the amateur fight is not the best. Since I do boxing, I want to put my skill in professional because I know I need money and I want more name because in amateur our national teams not so good. And yeah, when I pass to the pro, I know I need to fight in another big cities, big countries, and I know I will be the underdog all the way. I don't have a big promotion. I don't have Adrian with me. I know this. Yeah.
Not yet.
Never know. Yeah. I work, and yeah, I want to fight only the big names because I think I'm big name. But people don't know because I don't have big promotion back to me. But when I finish this fight, when I finish with Boot, people will know me.
When you think about Jaron Boots Ennis as a fighter,
He's a big fighter.
What does he do well?
It's everything. But me too. And they will meet on 11 October. Because I think I'm a big athlete. I'm hard work. I have good footwork. I have explosion. I have strength. I have everything. But yeah, I don't have a big promotion, big manners, and I like this. I used to be.
You think Eddie Hearn has made a mistake choosing you?
I think so. Him and Boot. We'll see. 11 October.
You done a bit of sparring with Adam Azim today, I hear.
Yeah.
How was that?
Very good. Sharp, fast. Yeah, I'm ready.
How do you rate Adam Azim from the sparring you've done as a fighter? How good is he?
I think Adam Zing is better of Boots.
Okay, well, that's a big statement.
No. But it's very good. And yeah, 1 year or two, I think he will be a world champion in big leagues.
How do you compare the UK to Portugal? The weather's good here.
No, we have good athletes in Portugal, but we don't have a big opportunities. We don't have big promotion. We don't have visibility because Portugal only football. People only know football. When I win the IBO, people want to know me nothing. None. Wisma, where is Wisma? No. Portugal only is for football. We know this. It's because this I go and fight in other countries. Yeah, it's for me. It's don't upset me because it's okay for me. I know the life is tough. Yeah, and I like fight like this. Go to the house of the guy I will fight and win, and people know. Hey, Wisma is fucking cool. What is this guy? Yeah, I like this. Yeah.
And how excited are you to come face to face with Jaron Ennis? What do you make of his energy and how he carries himself?
I think he's a good athlete and he's a humble guy. The things I saw in the TV is okay. He only put the work in the fight, not put our work in the weight in and these things. Yeah, he's humble.
Before we get to the predictions, I want to talk to you about Canelo Crawford because obviously, I mean, everyone watched it. We had to stay up very late to watch it here in the UK. Were you surprised? What did you make of the fight?
Yeah, very surprised because I was thinking, fuck, Canelo is a beast, he's a monster. He's killed guys more heavy than here. But Crawford is skillful, he's clever, his footwork, I think he's everything. He's fucking complete. And I think so. The age of Canelo is, I think he's, I don't know, he's tired. He don't have the stronger and the mentality he have in 10 years ago or 5 years ago. We don't know. Yeah, but it's a good fight. People see history make, and yeah, very happy for Crawford because he's a good champ, and Canelo is too a good champ.
And when you see these guys at the very top of the sport, this is a massive chance for you to take your seat on the top table. What's your dream, Wisma?
My dream is hard work every day. One day have good inviters, good opportunities like Boots, and they keep working, and to show. I have my name in history, and I don't want to be only the number one in Portugal. I go, no, it's for me. I already do this. To me, I want to Eddie Hearn and this big promotion say, fuck, Wisma Lima is a fucking guy. You sure you want to fight with him? I like this. People fear me, respect me. I want respect, yeah.
What will it mean to you? Obviously, this is an eliminator for the world title, but you must visualise being a world champion one day so often.
Yeah. First, I want respect. I want people know me and see, this is a big guy, this is a big fish. And I want everyone want to be our champ. Me too. But first, I want respect. I want people know my name. I want people know this motherfucker and this Portugal and Angola have big names, have big fighters because we have big fighters, but we don't have these things. People not big organization, big promotion, big manager, big sponsor. We don't have these. It's very difficult for us. But yeah, we training and we show.
For the American fans who might not have seen you, and they look at the poster and they say, "Oh, why is Boots not fighting Virgil Ortiz?" How does that make you feel?
Hurt a little bit, but it's not the first time. When I go to Canada, to Germany, to the UK, people know is this guy. When I finish the fight, Wisma is good. Oh, yeah. And all I know is hard work. When we go to the fight, I need to put my skills, and people will know me.
And what about your style for the fans who are going to be at the fight in Philadelphia? How would you describe what type of fighter you are?
I think I have everything. I can have good footwork. I'm stronger. I'm left guy. I can do orthodox, but I prefer left southpaw. Yeah, I think I'm complete to fight, and Boots will see. How
do you see the fight unfolding with Jaron Ennis? When you see it in your mind, how do you see the fight happening? It's like a secret for me. I can tell you. You need to waiting. Okay. Okay, but do you have a little message for Boots down here? We'll play this. Yeah, Boots. You will find me. You will see me. I'm not
I'm not a big name, but we'll see. I'm a big fighter.
Well, there you go. Listen, 2 massive nights coming your way on October the 11th. As I said, firstly in Sheffield, and then secondly over in Philadelphia. Wisma Lima coming to spoil the party in Philadelphia. That's the plan then?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, if you don't know the name now, you will know it on October the 11th. Now, over in the US, our colleague Lewis Ward, not a relation of mine, we do look somewhat similar, but he actually caught up with Jaron Boots Ennis. Here's what Boots had to say.
Well, I'm joined ringside here by Jaron Boots Ennis in the world-famous dungeon here in North Philadelphia. Firstly, welcome to the Matchroom Boxing Podcast. Boots, just under a month ago until you returned to the ring in Philadelphia. How's training camp going, first of all?
Training camp going great, going phenomenal. I'm ready to put on a beautiful show, a tremendous performance, and make a big statement at the 154 division. Bring home a big knockout.
I say new division for you, 154. Those extra few pounds to play with in camp. Yeah. How's that feeling? What sort of benefits do you feel to that at the minute?
I feel great. I feel great. I feel great to have the extra 7 pounds, and my goal is to put on a better performance. Each and every time out.
And we're back now in Philly, but most recently we saw you out in Lake Tahoe training with Canelo out there. I mean, that was an incredible experience to be a part of, wasn't it? How was that experience for you?
Yeah, being out there with Canelo was fire. It was you had a great time, and just picking up different things and helping him out and getting ready for his fight, as well as getting ready for my own fight. I did my first week or two out there, so just get my body acclimated, get in tip top shape, and I can't come back home and just go full throttle.
This gym is full of big names, but in terms of elite level company, being around Canelo, being around his camp, what's that mindset like? And did you learn anything out of the ring from Canelo?
It was great being around him. A cool guy, and like I said, it really was just for me to get out of here, out of Philadelphia, and get my mind right and get on point and get on track and start my camp off with a Hall of Famer. And I was out there fishing and doing all types of stuff, like stuff I never do at home. I wanted to get out my comfort zone and why not get great work at it while I'm at it. So yeah.
I'm focusing on this fight coming up. Lima is your opponent for October 11th.
Yeah.
What do you know about him?
What I saw from Lima, I saw that he'd come forward, try to throw a lot of punches, and that's really about it, whatever he bring, come fight night, we'll be ready, and I'm gonna put on a show, I gotta look good, I'm gonna look good, I'm gonna look sharp, I'm gonna have fun, bring home a big knockout.
This is Lima's world title fight, so to speak, with the IBO.
Mm-hmm.
Does that come with a different kind of danger in that fight, do you think, for you?
Any fighter, a dangerous fighter, but I feel like anybody, one thing about me, when I learned about coming up in this boxing game and all the different fights I had, anybody that fight me, they're going to try to bring their best. They're going to try to be 100%, and they're going to fight me different from they fight anybody else. So I got to treat these fights, every fight that I have, I got to treat them like they world champion fights, pay-per-view stars, big name fights. I can't treat them like they anybody. So that's what I do. My mindset that I picked up is just, you got every fight you have, you got to be locked in. You got to treat everybody like how they treat these guys, like the big name guys, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna treat him like he's a big name guy, and come October 11th, I will be victorious, and I will bring home a big knockout, and I will be taking his IBO belt.
Headlining at home is nothing new to you. Done it a few times now. Some fighters kind of struggle with that pressure, don't they? Coming home to fight, putting on a big performance. But it seems to be something that you thrive on, and you really kind of rise to the occasion. Talk to us about what it means to fight in Philly, and what's it like to have that crowd behind you.
It's everything fighting at home at Philly. My first fight that I had, the Wells Fargo Center, was crazy. I think we did 15 plus, and it was crazy. And had my friends, families, and supporters, backing me and coming out and showing the world that Philadelphia has a superstar is a blessing. And I know it's gonna be it's a lot for fighters to come fight me at home, because it's a different type of pressure for them. They got 15 plus booing you, so it's gonna be a lot to handle for other people.
You won't feel the pressure of fighting at home, but in terms of entering a new division. Do you feel like there's some sort of expectation or pressure on you to put a big performance on and announce yourself?
I mean, that's the goal. 154. I'm here. My goal is to make a statement. And, a statement is a knockout. So, I mean, we're not gonna look for it. We're gonna have fun. If it come, it come. If it don't, it don't. But the main goal for me is to have fun and just put on a show and look good. As long as I look good and I had fun to put on a show and make it easy, ain't nothing to worry about. 154 is mine.
Part of that show, a couple of your boys on the card, Tahir Smalls, Dennis Thompson.
Yep.
Talk to us about their development and how far they can go in the sport.
Well, my fighter, Dennis Thompson, young, hungry killer, sky's the limit for him. Well, ain't no limit for him. He just keep getting better each and every fight, getting smarter, getting wiser, and I'm just proud of him. And each fight that I put him in, he just keeps showing me that can nobody mess with him. And I'm just proud of him. And I know he gonna handle business. Come October 11th, he fighting his first undefeated fighter, and we're gonna take him to a disco. He gonna make a big statement as well. So, and then on top of that, Tahir Smalls, he been with me since we was little, and I'm glad he on the card. He about to fight for his first belt, and he will be in the new. I'm proud of him too, and I'm glad to be able to be helping my guys and putting them on a platform to show their talent. And that's what I'm here for. To try to make them bigger than me.
Talking about your path at 154, a few weeks after your fight, Virgil Ortiz fights Erickson Lubin, a fight that no doubt you'll have one eye on. Is that the next move for you?
Right now, my main focus is October 11th with Lima. I'm locked in on him. You can't be looking ahead, looking at this and looking at that. Main focus is Lima, October 11th. After I make my big statement, on October 11th, we can rap about that.
With all the talk about Ortiz potentially being your next fight, Ortiz Lubin, the fight is called Dare to Enter, I believe. That's the tagline for that fight. Is there some sort of message there, do you think, that's maybe to you coming into that division? Do you think there's some sort of message in there?
No, I don't care. But I'm trying to tell you, 154, man, it's mine. 154 is mine, and they're gonna see, and they're gonna see. Just stay tuned, and like I said, when I handle business October 11th, we're gonna see.
And just finally, if you have a message to the fans that will be tuning in on fight night, fans that are going to turn up in Philly for that fight or on the zone, your message to the fans, your opportunity.
My message to the fans: do not miss my 154-pound debut. Explosive knockout. Beautiful show. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna look good, and make sure y'all come on support. Come watch me.
Boots, thanks for your time once again, and thanks for joining us on the Matchroom Boxing Podcast.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, as you heard from promoter Eddie Hearn a little bit earlier on in the programme, massive night for the two fighters who join us in the studio now, live on the zone from York Hall, October 17th. British and Commonwealth middleweight titles on the line. Champion Kieron Conway against rising star 12-0 George Liddard. Northampton versus Bill Ricky. Two guys with a point to prove for very different reasons. Guys, thanks so much for coming down. Great to have you on the sofa. It's a little bit intimate, but we don't mind that. Just before we go into the fight talk and talking about what's at stake for you both, I just want to give you the opportunity to speak on the tragic news we, of course, read over the weekend with the passing of the great Ricky Hatton. George, is there anything you wanted to say? I know that Ricky had spent a lot of time in the gym and you knew him pretty well.
Yeah, very, very sad news for us. Obviously, he was in my change rooms at the last fight. He was training John Edges that night, and great man, Ricky. Great man. Nothing but respectful words to say about him, and a true legend in British boxing. So yeah, he'd be sadly missed, and I pray for his family. And yeah, rest in peace, Ricky.
And for you, Kieron, you were talking to me off camera there about the Costa Zoo night, and that being one of your earliest memories of boxing.
Yeah, it's devastating and very, very shocking news. I was training when I heard the news. At first, I didn't think it was kind of real. But yeah, one of my first memories of boxing is Ricky Hatton versus Costa Zoo. I think I had it on a VHS video. I was like 7 or 8 years old. So going back to my earliest memories with him involved, it's devastating news.
Yeah, absolutely. That is certainly one part, I think, of the legacy of Ricky Hatton that will live on forever is the way he paved the way and inspired so many fighters and young people to take up the sport, not just in Manchester, but around the country, and the likes of you both as well. No doubt that legacy will live on forever. And talking about legacy and journey, it takes you guys to October 17th, big night at York Hall. Kieron, let me come to you first. British and Commonwealth champion. George Liddard, they're calling him the new kid on the block. He's full of confidence. What do you make of this challenge, and what's at stake for you?
Yeah, there's a lot of confidence coming from George's side. Potentially a bit of overconfidence. In my opinion, this is a step too soon. The whole thing, when it came about, I was thinking they're mucking at me about here. Why are they even thinking about this fight? This is not one for George. But I hear things, and I'm kind of wondering where the confidence comes from. Is it manufactured? Is it real? I don't see why it would be real. I don't know where this confidence is coming from.
So what have you made of his performances so far then?
Performance has been very good, but I'm not these guys that have been falling over. This is different. This is a different ball game.
He did get beat by one, but
who?
Asazi, no?
Oh,
3
rounds.
That was time ago. I understand, but you can't say can't pretend like I'm fighting bums, can you? Let's be real. Let's be real. No?
You are
fighting bums.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Asazi, he's come to the end of his career. He's a judge. He's an amateur judge.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Didn't know that.
That's
Didn't need to know that. Didn't need to know that.
I lost on a 3-round split decision. Rounds go either way. 3 rounds.
I mean, there's an L on your side, though, no?
Maybe there is.
Yeah. So don't try to talk like I fight bums. Let's put that straight.
I'm saying what I'm saying.
Let's put that straight.
I'm saying what I'm saying.
If we look at your first 12 fights, do we want to go into that? Where you was at after 12 fights and where I'm at after 12 fights.
Same place.
I got myself here by beating fight after fight, stepping up, and this is another step up.
12 fights, same place.
Had you boxed as many winning records as I boxed?
I fought Ted Cheeseman, I think 12 or 13 fight.
How many winning records has you boxed in your first?
I don't know. I don't look back. I look forward.
Okay. And if you think this confidence is fake, you're crazy.
That's fine.
Crazy.
We'll see fight night.
Mate, I can't wait.
Neither can I.
I cannot wait.
That's fine.
I think a lot of your confidence though is fake. I think you talk a good game on camera. I'll give you that. And listen,
see, I don't think I do. I think this is my worst bit.
I don't know. I've seen.
I don't talk. I don't like talking. I don't like talking.
I've seen you saying you're going to knock
this
out
is
a few
like
guys.
my worst thing. I hate this sort of thing.
I mean, I've seen you saying you're going to knock a few guys out and this and that. And yeah, I think you're good at talking. I think you're very good.
George, you laughed. You were laughing and smiling throughout Kieron's opening answer about the confidence. Why? I
just think it's a very funny comment. I wouldn't be in this fight if I wasn't wholeheartedly believing that I will beat this man. What's the point? I don't need to rush. I didn't need to take this fight. I want to take this fight. If anyone thinks I've been pushed into this fight, they're crazy. This is a big opportunity for me. I won a British title eliminator and the Commonwealth silver. I'm next in line to fight for these. I earned my way here. There's no one denying me of that. So, listen, I wanted this fight. When they asked me what fight I wanted after I beat Sutton, I said Conway. I said, when Conway beats Warburton, because I believed you beat Warburton, I knew you'd beat him. I want that fight next. And Matchroom have delivered, and I've got exactly what I wanted. So, there's no fake confidence on this side. I asked for this fight. Yeah.
In Fight Week, Kieron, I asked you, it seemed that Eddie had painted 2 semi-finals, and this, at the time, the 2 winners would meet, which is, of course, you two. And I asked you about George Liddard, and you paused for a second and said, who? Now, I'm not sure if that was tongue-in-cheek, but how long have you known about him?
Well, known of George for a few years. A few years ago, I went down to the Matchroom gym. I sparred Jimmy. I believe you jumped in for 2 after.
I feel like we did I think I did jump in. I think you'd done some rounds, but I'm sure I did 4. I'm sure we got 4 rounds in. Something like that. I think there was a few of us down that day though. I think I sparred you and sparred some other fighters. I don't know if it was Sam Gilly, someone like that was down as well.
Sam Gilly was
it might have been
in the gym, yeah.
Yeah, so I think we was mixing in. We all mixed in together.
Yeah.
I'll give you that, yeah.
So I've known of George since back then, but that's it. Just because careers were on different paths at the time, I guess. Now they've met and now know of him a bit more.
What's at stake? People are saying that it's experience versus youth. Eddie Hearn was talking about, it's a new car on the drive, it's a bigger house. We know you've got a young one as well that you're looking after now. What's at stake for you? Why can't you lose to George Liddard?
Exactly that. I've got a little one. So everything, every day, every session, every moment that goes past, it's all for her. It's all for her future. It's her now. And someone telling me they're coming to take that away pisses me off. She's everything that I'm doing. So that's my motivation going into everything.
What's your why, George, at this stage?
I completely respect that. Obviously, look, the man's got a daughter. He's trying to feed his family. That's it. For me, it's I want to retire my family. My parents, I want to retire them. I want to pay off their mortgage. My future family, I got to think about. It's about feeding them in the future. There is no plan B for me. This is it. Boxing is it for me. I don't plan nothing else. And you ask about my why. I genuinely believe I have what it takes to go on and be a big thing in this sport. This is a stepping stone for me to prove that. Listen, it's about getting my name out there and putting the Liddard name out there forever. It's history for me. It's legacy. And I have no doubt in my mind that I will do that.
Stepping stone. Kieron, what separates you two, in your opinion?
What separates us, I would say that I'm better in every department. I think that if it gets rough, which it will, I think I've got the bigger heart, the bigger reason why I will fight when it's hard. Things that separate us will come out on fight night. Everything that we've done behind closed doors, everything that we shouldn't have done, everything that has been done, all comes down to that moment on fight night.
George, smiling again.
I genuinely do not believe there's a man in this world that will let outwork me, and I can just put that out there straight. Credit to him. He's done good things, and I have no doubt he's training hard. Listen, I expect the best Kieron Conway come October 17th. He's in good form. I think he's stopped 3 out of his last 4. He's in great form. So I want the best Kieron Conway October 17th. I'm glad to know he's putting it in there because I don't want no excuses when I get the job done. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's in good form. There's no denying that. So I can't wait. This is everything for me, And like I say, there's not a man alive that'll let outwork me. There's no heart like I've got. No one wants this like I want this. I think he's got everything to lose in this fight. How dangerous does that make me? This is a great opportunity for me. I'm 12-0. Push on, this is 13. I've got nothing to lose in this fight. Everything to gain. So that makes me a very dangerous man come October 17th.
How do you beat Kieron, George, in your own mind when you see the fight?
The fact of the matter is I genuinely believe I'm better than you in every department. I think you're a good boxer, do not get me wrong. I think you're a good fighter, and I'm not taking nothing lightly. I don't think this is overconfidence. I just know my ability. I know my ability. I genuinely believe I'm better than you in every department. And you say when it gets rough and tough, you haven't seen me get rough and tough yet, but I can promise you I'm more than ready for that. More than ready for that. I hope you know that.
I'm not the good talker here.
I'm just speaking facts. I'm not trying to be a good talker. I'm just telling you what I believe. Do you know what I mean? Just like you did me. I'm just telling you what I believe.
That's what we're all doing.
Exactly.
We're sitting here just talking exactly what we believe.
And I just spoke what I believe there.
Yeah, I do believe that you were saying that.
You know I believe that. I know when you look at me, you know I believe that.
I'm not sure.
You know I believe that.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because I don't see why you would believe that.
Genuinely, man. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen, that's great. That's great news for me. I hope
which shows me like that. The immaturity.
Okay. The immaturity. Love to.
It's like it's.
I enjoy it.
How I felt back then.
Yeah, but
and I did things that I shouldn't have. I took fights that I shouldn't have took. Well, not even that I shouldn't have took. I took fights that I weren't ready for.
I understand you're not.
And I do think that one day it will be your time for a British title.
October 17th.
But I don't.
Will be that.
I
day.
just can't say that is now.
You're not gonna say that though. You're fighting me in 4 weeks, aren't you? You're
I
not
don't
gonna
believe
say
it.
that.
I don't believe it.
I know. I know you're not going to believe that though. Like, I understand that. You're going to say that.
But
you kind of got to, really.
I don't see why you would.
You kind of got to.
I don't see why you would.
Listen, I asked for this fight. I understand you didn't really want to take this fight. I genuinely believe.
When I got offered this fight, they said this fight, and I went, yeah, whatever. But why? I said why. I said, why would they want? Why would they want?
Because you've got everything to lose, I guess. That's probably.
I've got everything to lose, and you say that makes you dangerous. That makes me dangerous.
Not really, man.
It does.
Not really.
It really does.
Not really.
Because I've got everything to lose.
Okay.
So
we'll see.
And I know that. I accept that.
I don't think you realise though. Like I get you're saying you're more experienced, and you think this is too soon for me. You did say that. You didn't say that the experience takes a toll.
I think Jamie said it.
Well, on paper, that's the facts.
Okay. Well, the fact of the matter
I just think I'm better.
You think that this is
and
a
that
step
might
too
be
soon.
because of experience.
You said that this was a step too soon.
Yeah,
right?
I did.
Okay. Well, we will see on October 17th.
Yeah.
We will see. Like, I fully am aware that this fight changes everything for me. Win this and it changes everything for me. So you are going to see the best Jules Liddard there's been yet.
What happens when you lose?
It doesn't happen.
What happens?
It doesn't happen.
What happens?
But it doesn't happen.
The
That's
thing
what
is,
I think you need to realize.
You think that there's no. You don't think that there's a risk on your side.
I don't know how to lose
because you're losing to Kieron Conway. You're losing to the British champion. You're losing to
there's
Kieron
not
Conway
that
who's done
involved.
this, done that. You've got excuses already there and made for you.
No, listen. I'm 12 and I don't know how to lose. I've not lost yet. As a professional,
but
I've not lost yet.
I know how that feels.
You know how it feels. I want it more than you. I want it way more than you. I don't know how to lose.
I'm not
you
sure
think I'm
that
gonna get in there
makes sense.
and let a man beat me? It makes perfect sense.
It don't.
It makes perfect sense. I've not been beaten yet, so you think I'm gonna get in there and think that another man's gonna beat me? It won't happen.
You think that I think another man's going to beat me?
You've been beaten.
And take everything away from me again.
Some people have cracked your code. No one's cracked my code yet.
Crack my code. When did I last lose? It was.
You've been beaten 3 times. So 3 people have cracked your code. Am I right or am I wrong?
Well, I've lost 3 times.
Yes.
I've lost 3 times.
So 3 people have figured out a way to beat
These
me.
are things.
No one's figured out a way to beat me yet.
Pivotal moments in my
Yes,
career.
I agree.
That
and
changed
would have helped
everything.
you get
and
better.
Exactly.
But 3 people have figured out a way
Now
to
it's a
beat you.
different
What
code.
makes you think
It's
I
a different
won?
code now.
Yeah, exactly. And mate, I'm good at cracking codes. I hate to break it to you. I broke 12 so far.
No, they weren't codes.
No, listen. I admit maybe some of the first few weren't codes, but listen.
No.
Okay.
Your last fight. Yeah. Everyone's been put there for a reason, you know.
Okay. So a man that's never been.
Look at the way they shape up. Look at the way that they move.
So hang on, he went to a very, very close points decision with your last fight. So
yeah.
Oh, so that was great matchmaking for you.
That was very good matchmaking for me in my last fight.
Well, exactly then. So
and we both handled
business, and we both handled very business easily. So this fight makes sense now.
But your confidence is coming from beating these guys. Not as good as these
It's not
wins.
just about beating these guys. It's the way I beat these guys.
Yeah, but they're made to get beat by that.
It's the way I beat these guys.
They're made to get beat by that. From round 1, I've called each and every one of them.
Yeah.
How you're going to do it. Okay. I don't do them mistakes.
Okay. You make other mistakes though.
I might make other mistakes.
Other mistakes, which I will find.
I used to make them mistakes. I made that mistake there. I made that mistake there. But I analyse.
Yeah, me too.
And I analyse you.
Me too. I've analysed you.
And I know which mistakes that I can and can't make.
I know.
Quick prediction, just to end on, Kieron. How do you do it?
I'll knock him out. There's no way that a young lad is going to walk around behind my back, saying to your team that you're going to knock me out. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to knock you out.
Okay. I genuinely believe I do the same though. I believe I chin Conway. That's just that is. I feel like that's written. So that is what will come. And
so where do you get that from?
Because listen, for me, this is God's plan. Wherever be on October 17th be, I'll put in everything I have to do, and I'll let the rest unfold, and I'll put in 100% when the fight comes. I just genuinely believe I will knock you out. I believe I have something that no other fighter you've faced has. I genuinely believe that. A mix of everything.
Right.
I think all round my ability is up there at elite, and it will be, and I'm proving that fight on fight. Yes, I have to prove that.
This is that overconfidence coming through right now.
I have to prove that on October 17th. I have no denying that.
I
have to
think
prove
you're a
that.
good fighter, but elite is a step too far.
No, I believe that I'm going to be an elite fighter, and this is a step for me to prove that.
And the producers are they're having a go at me saying we need to wrap this up. But I must admit, I was really enjoying that. And look, all the questions will be answered, gents. A cracking fight. A brilliant domestic fight with European title, world title ambitions potentially on the line. Do not miss it. From the spiritual home of British boxing in London's East End, York Hall, October 17th. Live on DAZN. British and Commonwealth middleweight champion Kieron Conway meets the new kid on the block, George Liddard. Cannot wait. Guys, we get a shake of hands to
I'm
Wendell.
not shaking a man's hand that tells me he's going to knock me out.
I mean, it's respect, innit? October 17th, I'll fight.
A kid. A new kid on the block.
Yeah. Nice.
Guys, thanks so much for coming on. That was brilliant. And we'll see you fight week.
We will indeed.
Great stuff, lads.
Cheers, guys. Very good. Good program.
Yes, welcome to the greatest quiz in boxing. That is self-proclaimed, but for those who have enjoyed the first 2 episodes of our new studio format, undoubtedly you will wholeheartedly agree. I'm very happy that George Liddard has stayed with us in the studio. George, quick word on that exchange with Kieron Conway. That was a lot of fun and one of the easier ones I've done, really. That was great.
I thought it was great fun. I got to speak what I thought, he got to speak what he thought, and we were sitting right next to each other. It was nice. I like it.
Can you take anything from that? Are you reading energy? Are you reading...
I don't look into it too much. October 17th is what matters. You know, all of this is, I can understand it's like, it's cool and it's fun, but October 17th is all that matters to me. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't wait for the fight, and also I can't wait to see where you end up on the Flash Knockdown quiz leaderboard. Now, George, this quiz is called Face to Face to Face to Face, and the reason it's called that, producer Scott is about to unveil to you. Over to you, Scott.
I'm trying not to laugh already because I've just had a look at the face. So, George, I'm going to spin around this card. It's going to pop up on screen about now. There's 4 names that make up the face. You need to tell me.
This should be fun.
You need to tell me who the segments are. So there's 2 points for each correct segment.
So we can work our way from top to bottom.
If you get lost, George, you can ask for a clue, and we'll give you a clue. It might be good or it might be bad.
If I get that one wrong, I'm criminal, right?
Where are you starting off?
No, I know the second one down, Spider.
2 points.
Yeah,
What
that's
was
definitely
the clue
Spider.
for that one?
I just know. Listen, I've looked at him in a head guard enough times to know that's Spider. If I didn't get that right, I'd be worried. You need to get me tested.
What was the clue?
The clue was going to be we sparred recently. There we go.
There you go.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. It's difficult though because it's right at the top, isn't it?
There's a lot of stake.
Can they? Can I ask a question?
Maybe.
Are they all Matchroom fighters?
Oh, that is a good question, and they are. Yes.
Okay.
Maybe we should change that. Actually, last week there was a few rogue ones in.
Yeah, Bud Crawford.
This week they are all Matchroom fighters. Yes.
Can we go bottom one?
We can.
I want to take a stab at the bottom one. Is it Josh Warrington?
Correct.
Oh.
2 points.
I don't know what give. I don't know what give that away.
Joint level with Pat McCormack already on the leaderboard.
Right, nice. Middle one's tough. I know it's obviously you can see the most of it, but it's very tough.
I like how seriously George is taking this.
God, that's really tough. Can I get a clue for that one?
Which one? The nose.
The nose, yeah.
I've had 14 world title fights in a row.
Oh, that should be obvious, but 14 world title fights. Oh, I don't know. I want to say, nah. I genuinely cannot guess that. It's gonna kick me when you say it though. I'm gonna start slap Lara.
Can I guess?
Maurizio Lara. No, he's not matching anyway.
Do you want to guess?
I got it wrong. Didn't I?
You did, yes.
Scott showed me yesterday, and my first stab was Jairo Pataya, wasn't it? And then
That
I
was
went,
wrong.
actually, that's Dimitri Bivol.
Bivol.
14
Yeah.
So
I see what you mean by Pataya, but his face is a little bit like Opataya's face is a little bit more fuller than that. He's got a very skinny face, Bivol, isn't he?
So George, you need 2 points to
need
draw level with Johnny Fisher.
Yeah, so I need to take a stab at the top one before I ask for a clue, really, don't I?
Yeah. But if you get it wrong, is he toast?
If you get it wrong, you'll be on 4 points. So do you play it safe and maybe go in between Johnny and Pat on 5?
What are you in this to
Yeah,
achieve?
go on.
What are you in this to achieve?
That's
mate?
true, though.
What are you doing this for?
Oh, Dad, this is difficult, man.
You talk George into having a go.
If you're not first, you're last, mate.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, I'm going to go with a rogue one. Nishant Dev.
It's a good shout. It's the same Barnett. It's wrong. It's Murajan Akhmadaliev who boxed.
Oh, no, that's an awful one. He stitched me right up. What was the clue for him?
I couldn't topple the monster. So Inoue.
Okay,
Oh,
I still wouldn't have got that.
You should have took the clue, mate. Who told you to do that?
Jamie, who do you want?
George.
Oh.
Good effort, mate. Listen,
Alphabetical order, though. Surely that puts me.
Oh, that's
second, right.
no. Actually, you took a lot longer to answer the questions. I think because Pat
accept it.
didn't really care, did
You're
he?
You're not first, you're last anyway. So.
Well, I'm just going to have to make a bit of room here. George Liddard, 4 points. Yeah, it's interesting. We was just talking off camera about Conor and Chris. I don't know what do you think the energy is going to be like this time?
Very difficult to know.
I don't know. Eubank's a bag of tricks, though.
Yeah.
You know, he'll have something up his sleeve. Big time.
I'm sure he's going to spark something again, isn't he?
100%, yeah.
And Conor's obviously a fiery character, so I feel like them two characters, just like their fathers, are always going to be. There's always going to be a bit of excitement and, do you know what I mean? A thrill from them two meeting. So I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah. What's Conor been like in the gym?
Conor's always grafts hard, do you know what I mean? Even when he ain't in camp, he's always running far or doing something. So I feel like sometimes we're very similar in that way. We just enjoy doing hard stuff, I think. Kind of eases us, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I wonder if he'll fight. I mean, we were in Windsor Park, obviously, and Lewis Crocker called him out, didn't he? I mean, after this. I mean, the thing is, if he wins, you'd think there'd be a third one, right?
Yeah, and then who else will come calling as well, beating Eubank. So
I think he's probably one of the most called out names in boxing, to be honest, which, don't get me wrong, I think that's an amazing position to be in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
everyone wants a piece of the pie. So I think it would be great for him to go down to welterweight after this fight, though. Even regardless, I know there can always be a trilogy, I feel like.
Yeah, agree.
But right now at the welterweight division, I think Crocker obviously just won his world title. Listen, it takes a great man to win a world title. I feel like Conor would edge that fight. Mario Barrios coming off a draw, obviously, with Pacquiao, who he obviously isn't the Pacquiao we've all loved, but
he wants a WBC belt as well, like his dad, you know.
Doesn't everyone want a WBC? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That green and gold belt.
Yeah.
You know, so I think if there's any a time to fight to try and win a world title for him, it's now.
Nice one, man.
Nice one.
Scott, it only seems fitting to start with the terrible news over the weekend. I mean, tragic is the only word. I think so sad. And Ricky, in every sense of the word, was a true legend, wasn't he?
I mean, that word gets used, probably
It
overused,
does, yeah.
but in this case, modern day legend, British boxing legend of a man. Still doesn't feel real. I think Kieron Conway mentioned it earlier on the show. Tragic, like you say. Obviously, our thoughts go out to Campbell, the two girls, Matthew, and the rest of the Hatton family.
Of course.
We were together when the news come out, and it's hard to put it into words. But you know, we should celebrate his life. And brilliant boxer, unbelievable man. I mean, you know, we've got to know him as a friend over the last couple of years when he's sort of joined up with the Matchroom crew with Campbell, and you know, what a guy. We've got great stories. Probably can't really say on camera. You know, I had a few beers and whatnot with him. Just treated everyone the same, which I think is probably one of the biggest compliments you can give someone. Not looking down on anyone whatsoever. Give everyone time. Just a true great, like you say. I'll miss his laugh. That was so striking for me. You could hear it a mile off. One of my heroes growing up. So very difficult to put into words, to be frank. But yeah, never ever will be forgotten.
Yeah, lovely words, mate. I remember when we signed Campbell, and it was in the bubble, wasn't it? We were staying in the Hilton at the time. Do you remember, during COVID? Yep. And you text me, and you're like, you need to go downstairs and do a joint interview with the pair of them. And I remember thinking, bloody hell, Ricky Hatton. I hadn't been in the job too long, and I remember feeling really nervous. But then as soon as I met him, just made me feel completely at ease. And he was just honestly, it's not one of the biggest compliments you can give him, considering the superstar that he was and how loved and revered he was by so many. The most normal bloke ever.
And Eddie, spot on what he said about he didn't have the social media era to build up his fan base. It was natural. It's because he had that connection with the average man on the street. The fan base obviously had the Man City fans, but also kind of crossed the divide with the United fans, who also turned up at his fights and whatnot as well.
Yeah, he was so genuine.
So genuine. First time I met him was at Mayweather Pacquiao, and then bumped into him randomly about 6 months after. Tottenham were playing in Monte Carlo, and he had Zakianov on a random show over there. Ended up getting in an absolute session with him, but like, he didn't need to. Do you know what I mean? It was just me and a couple of mates, and he was there with one or two of his team members. Had the time of day for everyone, and lovely man. And yeah, God bless you, Ricky. As Scott said, the thoughts of everyone at Matchroom with all of his family. I mean, it just goes without saying, doesn't it? But
when you look at this past weekend from a boxing perspective, like I said to Eddie, unfortunately the weekend, which was a fantastic week for boxing in the ring, not undoubtedly marred by the tragic news of Ricky's passing, but one of his old weight divisions, the welterweight division, we were ringside in the stadium at Windsor Park in the rain. It was a special night, a great atmosphere, and Belfast has a new world champion in Lewis Crocker, which, heading into the fight, Lewis said it himself, nobody gave me a chance, and he proved a lot of people wrong that night.
I think I might have cursed it. Remember last week I said, what's the forecast going to be? Without checking. We were quite lucky, weren't we, I suppose? It didn't rain, from about 5, 6 o'clock? Maybe the first...
Just before the main event, it restarted.
Yeah, it started for a little bit, didn't it? Yeah, but thankfully it held off. Very intriguing fight, to be fair. I mean, the debate of the scorecards is an interesting one. With the 2 knockdowns straight away, it becomes very hard to swing it around. And, you could arguably give the 12th and final round to Lewis Crocker and maybe the 6th as well. So straight away, it's not looking too good for Paddy. But look, great fight, great night. And I guess he's kind of got the world at his feet now, really. He can bankroll and see how he gets his first defence from here and looks to set up his future. So big night's coming for Lewis Crocker.
Lewis gave nothing away, did he?
Nothing. And I guess that was all part of it. So fair play to him. One other big talking point from Belfast. This.
Oh, God. Oh, right, yeah, of course. I mean, look, don't get this wrong. Yeah, I mean, look,
why is it broken in half?
A few questions here. So this, you would have seen this on Small Talk, the prank of Sam Jones. We told him that he was the second most influential man at Matchroom Boxing as per a recent poll from our Fight Pass members. That was too big to get in the suitcase.
I'm surprised you put it back home.
I plan to hang it above my bed, obviously, because my ego too is out of control. No, not really.
Why is it broken in half?
I brought it home because I thought it'd be fun on the show. However, I walked out of my flat this morning. It was so windy. I was carrying 4 books for the set, blew out my hand, and went into the front of a car, broke in half. And I'm like, oh, God.
Scratched the car?
I damaged the car. There was a little mark. Uh-oh. So, clean hearts win. Went into, not because the Tesla was recording me, went into a coffee shop, and I was like, does anyone know whose Tesla this is? And it was the owner's. And he was very polite and very thankful that I'd told him. To be fair, he licked his finger and the mark came off.
Maybe you should give this to him signed as a little
souvenir.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like...
Did you say to him, yeah, that's me?
Yeah, I nearly said, mate, I'm the 7th most influential man at Matchroom Boxing. But yeah, that's why it's in half. So that'll be going straight in the bin, unfortunately.
And that prank was brilliant, to be fair.
It was, mate.
Hook, line and sinker.
Yeah. I wasn't 100% sure what was going on at first, because they asked me, they were like, oh, you've got to do an acceptance interview. And as soon as they said that, I was like, well, this is obviously not real, is it?
Oh, was they trying to prank you as well?
I think so.
Okay. But you obviously...
Yeah, it's just too quick.
One step ahead.
But Sam's... You got wait till you see the extended version. It's brilliant.
I think
he was a good.
Out now, I think.
Is it?
Yeah,
well, he was a good sport. He took it well, but he turned into Chris Eubank. Sitting on the chair like this. It was mega. It was so funny. But yeah, great night. Good to see Molly McCann off and running as a pro, despite the little kick from Kate Radomska in that second round.
Trying to get reaction from Molly.
Oh, she was a kickboxer, Kate.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know if it was just she reverted to type. She was under a lot of pressure at that moment in the fight. Molly was landing a lot of shots, and it looked like the ref might have been about to step in and stop it. I don't know, but she should have been disqualified immediately. I can't believe she wasn't.
It's great for us. The engagement was through the roof.
Yeah, I said that to Molly after. I was like, that's a good viral moment for your debut. But I thought she looked good, really strong, looks really heavy-handed. I think the aim for her will be to get down to 118. A lot of good fighters at 122. Ellie Scottney and Sky Nicholson, and I think 118, Shanika Johnson undisputed, isn't she right now? So looks like that's going to be the route down. But I think she's going to be a lot of fun. Great character. Well, that was a lot of fun. That was a great show. Thanks so much to our guests this week. Wisma Lima, who made his way into the studio. Big night for him coming up on October 11th, and what is also a big night for Matchroom in Sheffield and across the pond over in Philadelphia with Jaron Boots Ennis. Thanks very much to our guests who joined us on the sofa as well. George Liddard and Kieron Conway. How good was that? Massive fight for those two coming up on October the 17th from York Hall. Thanks to the gaffer, Mr. Eddie Hearn. Thanks to Jaron Boots Ennis, who joined us with our colleague Lewis Ward, who did a fantastic job as well over in camp with Mr. Boots Ennis. Thanks to producer Scott for all of his tireless work behind the scenes. This week he wasn't as prepared, actually, and I had to do most of the prep and obviously do the show. So, thanks to myself as well. We'll see you next week, as Scott said, to dissect everything related to Eubank Ben. There's only one place to watch boxing. Do you know where that is? The global home of it, DAZN. See you next week.
What a show!